Everything good now? Alright, this is weird. This new software has really got me jacked up. I'm trying to figure it out here, so bear with me. Couple little details here I'm trying to figure out. Can you see me and hear me okay? Hey Ghost. Edits. Elijah. DR. Papa Mike. Alright, so anything you guys want to talk about today? I'm going to go ahead and start this early. Hopefully this is working out pretty good. Loud and clear. Awesome. Awesome. Alright, so who's excited for the Bad Batch coming May 4th? That was just announced the other day. Haha. Yeah. Was that you on my Twitch the other day watching? Let's bring back Jingo's armor. Go ahead and make that video, DR. I'm all about it. I want to watch it and see what you come up with. This is just awkward because my YouTube's not showing that it's recording, but it's showing it on my Streamlabs. Yeah, it confused me because your name wasn't the same on there. I'm glad you did find me though. That was fun. Me and my boy was playing some NBA 2K. It was pretty awesome using that little man that we created. Some Mandos? I hope so. I was just talking today to somebody about it. I hope at very least we get to see Boba Fett and how he got the dent, and hopefully finish that arc out with him and Cad Bane, because they just left it open. They teased us with a little unfinished animation of it, and then they didn't give us anything else. Yeah, Boba Fett's my favorite character too, T-Ash. Love that guy. But yeah, I hope I do see some Mandos. I'd like to see Bo-Katan, a little bit more, maybe something of Casca Reeves, because she just came out of nowhere, her and Axe Woves both. And I'd like to see, what's her name, Rook Cast come back in as well. Maybe be a villain or something like that. Not sure what happened there. Clicked on something I shouldn't have. Yeah, I don't know. The Book of Boba Fett's going to be a limited series, and I hope they limit how many flashbacks they actually do. Maybe if they do flashbacks, just go back to how he escaped the Sarlacc, and I think I'd be good after that. Then Tamura's going to be in Kenobi. I wasn't aware of that. Oh yeah, he is. He'll probably play like Rex or something like that. I don't know if he'll be Boba Fett unless Darth Vader hires Boba Fett to go find Kenobi. Yeah, I'd love to see Bosk live action, really getting into it. The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, when it just had glimpses of him, that wasn't enough. Let's get the guy in there and give him some action. Cody. That'd be interesting, because Cody turned on his general, who was Kenobi, and tried to blast him out of the sky. Maybe they're going to do some of the Legends material with Cody and make him an actual bad guy now. Yeah, I can stream on my PC on Twitch. It takes some setting up because Honestly, I'm not real technologically friendly. I'm learning, but I'm not the best at it. So doing stuff like that takes me a minute to figure out. But usually once I figure it out, I usually Google how to do it or something like that, and then it works out pretty good. All right, what else we got? We only got 2 people in here right now. Maybe everybody's going to be a little bit later. Favorite and least favorite clone. Um, Honestly, Fives is my favorite clone. Then probably Rex. My least favorite clone, Fox. Everybody hates Fox, but I'm going to jump on that bandwagon. Fordo, definitely. Yeah, I'll try to twitch some Battlefront 2 from my PC. 6. Huh? Oh no, I got 9 people in here now. There's 9. Everybody say hello. Retro Gaming, there you are. Ghost General, nice to see you. Cooper Cherney, nice. Thank you for joining. What? You haven't watched the Clone Wars? DR, come on, man. You can't like Fox if you haven't watched the Clone Wars. Favorite clone is Boba. Definitely, Bobby. Good one. I thought we were talking about clone troopers, but yeah, Boba's definitely my favorite. Yeah, I mean, Fox has his moments. If you read into the canon comic books, Fox definitely got better than he did in the Clone Wars. I just Everybody just hates what he did to Ahsoka, and honestly, he was just doing his job. Change your name a lot. I've changed mine a couple times on YouTube, but I really only twice, I think. One time when I first started my YouTube channel, I did it as a test, and I was posting all kinds of videos of my buddy, Doug, and I called myself his biggest fan and was posting videos of his griddle that he had outside and different pictures of him being drunk and stuff like that. It was hilarious. Yeah, clones hate Fox because he was really close to the Emperor anyway. Or, sorry, Chancellor Palpatine. How many episodes are in the Bad Batch? I'm not sure. Um, I heard it's a limited series, maybe 1 to 2 seasons. Will Fennec and Cobb create a clan with Boba? Any theory? Yeah, that's my favorite theory is Fennec Shan and Cobb Vanth joining in with Boba, as well as Din Djarin and maybe even Bo-Katan or Bo-Karen. I'd like to see Tatooine become the new Mandalore with Boba Fett at the head. And then you got Cobb Vanth and Din Djarin as protectors and Fennec as a protector. It just all seems like it would work out so well if they did that. The Sith Eternal logo, that was a long time ago. Yeah, not a long time ago. I've only had the channel a little over a year. Yeah, yeah, DR, we get that. It's Darth Vader. Yep, Retro Gaming's got it. Second favorite character is Darth Vader. And you can't see, but back there I got the Black Series Darth Vader helmet and the Black Series Boba Fett helmet, Stormtrooper helmet, and the custom Boba Fett helmet over there as well. I'm still working on getting my cave and theater all set up, so I'll be putting hangers on the wall for these helmets to display them up on the wall to get them off shelf space and off the floor, really. Feel like Shinnick will wear black and orange armor. That would be really cool. I'd like to see some black and orange armor. Third and fourth favorite characters. I mean, Chewbacca's got to be in the top. I mean, who doesn't love that guy? Dengar, maybe? I really like what the new stuff has done with Dengar, other than turning him into some kind of weird looking robot thing. That was just odd to me. Is the chat showing up on the screen to you guys at all? Because I'm not showing it. Yeah, honestly, DR, you can make foam helmets or cardboard helmets that look just as good as the real thing. Yeah, you need to go watch the Clone Wars. Mummy, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Dengar the Mummy. Yeah, I'd love to see Fordo canonized. I mean, they're doing so much with Legends and bringing it into canon that it's pretty awesome. Nope, chat's not on the screen. Well, looks like we're going to do without the chat on the screen then. No, the real thing. I mean, what is the real thing really, DR? I mean, you can buy a Black Series one, you can call that the real thing. You can buy one from one of the third-party vendors who make incredible helmets and pay $500, and that can be the real thing. Any of it can be the real thing, unless you're going out planning on joining the 501st Legion and doing some trooping around. Then, I mean, whatever suits you is the real thing. And I don't get caught up in all the 100% minor details and stuff like that in the helmets and stuff. It sits in my cave. It sits in my theater room for display. And people that come over, these aren't 501st Legion people or anything. These are just my friends or family and stuff. And they're like, that's cool. And they're right. That is cool. Yeah, 3D printing it also, that works if you have access to a 3D printer in about 52 hours of your time. But it's worth it. I've seen some of the 3D printed Boba Fett helmets and other pieces, and they're amazing. I would like to have a life-size mannequin right over there to put Boba Fett's armor on. I got the space all cleared out and everything for it, but that's going to take a lot of money. All right, I'm not seeing any members joining in just yet. Have I watched WV? What am I missing on that one? What's WV? Cardboard. Yeah. Yeah, you told me about your cardboard helmet one time. Oh, lightsabers. Now you're talking my business, because in June, I'll be going to Disney World for about a week, taking the kids down there and my wife. And I'm building my own lightsaber, and I'm going to build my own droid. The lightsaber, of course, I have to have red. I got a blue one. You can kind of see it. Let me move over to the side. Hanging up in the background back there. It's Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. I don't have it lit up because it's really loud, and it's one of the old ones where you can't control the volume or the sound or anything like that. WandaVision. I did watch the first episode of WandaVision. I thought it was okay, but usually when I watch TV shows and stuff, I have my wife with me and we watch them, and we have to both really get into stuff before we'll continue watching it. So it's probably something that one of us will continue watching on our own, if we continue watching it. It wasn't bad the first episode, but it took me a minute to get hooked. Clues about the new Star Wars open world game? Oh, man. One clue is that it's taking too long to get here. I mean, I'm pretty sure 8 years is plenty of time to get it released. EA kind of dropped the ball on that one, but Ubisoft's picking it up, and hopefully we get something Mandalorian in it. Let's add in some of the old Legends stuff from the Old Republic. Just trying to mix it up and make it a cross-generation type thing. That's what I'd like to see. Now, the rumors, I've heard it's going to be Mandalorian based, which is awesome. That's right up my alley, but I don't know how many people are actually going to want that because not everybody's into Mandalorians the way I am or the way some of you guys are. Yeah, Boba's armor in the holiday special is really weird. It, but that was the first prototype of him until the white armor came out in, I think it was 1979 or 1978, one or the other. But it was after the holiday special. Dude, I'm jealous, Bobby. My God, I am so jealous because I'll be down there in June, and I've not been to Galaxy's Edge yet. I've been to Disney World, but like back in 2012. But I really need to get to Galaxy's Edge. I just stand next to the Millennium Falcon, and then I'll leave. That's fine, whatever, as long as I get to see it in person and put my little finger on it. The first 3 episodes are setting up something huge. Yeah, I take your word for it because I've heard a lot of the reviews on it and stuff without being spoiled, and everybody saying it's crazy and it's great. So I'll definitely be checking it out. I don't know when I'll do that, but you want a real Slave One? Good luck with that. I was just looking up deuce and a halves today just to see what they cost, or an M4 Sherman, and I can't imagine what a Slave One would cost. Yeah, Disney is expensive. It's really expensive. I basically had to pull from my savings just to make it happen because this might be the last time that I'm able to get my younger kids to go there because they're growing up and it's going to get way too much when they get older. I have 2 older kids as well who have also been to Disney. And then my wife's got 2 sons. They've been to Disney. Huh. No, I'm still here. It says it's still going. Okay. Probably my Wi-Fi or something. I really need to run a LAN cable down here so this stuff doesn't happen. Are you all good now? Okay, cool. I see you too, Arafine. Well, I don't see you. I see your icon. You're right down there. Just a lag spike. Yeah, it's probably my Wi-Fi. I pay a lot for Wi-Fi, but we have 4 people in the house, and all of them are using Wi-Fi at one time. Laptops, Netflix, gaming, all that stuff. So I'll probably run a LAN cable down here eventually and just hardwire into it. Jaster Muriel's armor is pretty badass. Your question, where was that retro gaming? Has there been any Star Wars related thing? The Jason Wingreen thing, I'm not sure. That's what I was saying I had to think about. I should have read your question out loud. So what he's asking is, has there been any Star Wars related thing that's not the OG trilogy where Jason Wingreen voiced Boba? I'm not really sure. I can't remember if any of the Caravan of Courage or the Ewok movies or any of that stuff had Boba Fett. I don't think they did. But if they did at that time, they certainly would have used Jason Wingreen. Huh. No. All right. Thank you, Papa Mike. Thank you for answering that. He didn't. It is a shame that Jeremy Bulloch passed away recently. Honestly, I thought he passed away years ago, but then he passed away for real, and I was like, oh my gosh. You watched the holiday special? Well, you are a man now, DR. If you made it all the way through that, you are a true man. I watched it in 78 when it was released on TV, and even as a kid, I was like, what is this? I mean, the Boba Fett sequence was the best part of it. The rest of it, you just had to raise an eyebrow like, what? Why is B. Arthur in it, and why is there somebody singing? Boba was Canadian. Are we sure about that? I know you're 12, but in Mandalorian, you got one more year and you become a man. You consider Robot Chicken Boba as canon. Yeah, yeah. I love the Robot Chicken Boba Fett stuff. I love all the Robot Chicken Star Wars stuff. Seth Green's just crazy. Yeah, it was definitely interesting, was it, Silas? Oh my gosh, it was just watching it as a kid. I didn't even like it, and I loved everything Star Wars back then. Even though all we had was Star Wars, which is called A New Hope now. Back then, all we had was that and the holiday special, and half of it was garbage. Some sort of tribute to Jason Wingreen, Jeremy Bulloch, and all the Boba actors in Book of Boba. Yeah, that would be really cool if they could do something like they did with Peter Cushing and CGI his voice into it of some way. Jeremy Bulloch, even as an Imperial officer, something that would be really neat. Robot Chicken is canon. Like Jurassic Park and Boba and Robot Chicken. Yeah. Robot Chicken's crazy. I love it. Go for Papa Palpatine. I might. I'm going to go outside with edits and play some basketball after I'm finished here. I'll keep this going for probably another 20 minutes or so. And then I want to go out and shoot some hoops. It's a really nice day out, so get out and enjoy some sun. When they pitched the holiday special, it was at the ranch, and they were all high. I agree with that. I mean, George Lucas now would like to burn every copy of that, and I see why. Ooh, SDS, random thought. But what if we both fell forward and our lips accidentally touched? What would you do in that situation? I don't know, probably turn red. Have you heard of Star Wars Detours? If so, what are your thoughts? Star Wars Detours. I don't think so. Yes, edit's my son. Boba was cool. So, who's excited for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series? To me, it's almost like Solo, a Star Wars story, where I wasn't pumped about it when they announced it, but I got pumped about it after I saw it. The Kenobi thing, Obi-Wan Kenobi's not one of my favorite characters, but I don't hate him, not in the least. He was just the typical Jedi. He just the atypical Jedi. He followed the rules. He did what he was told. He followed the council. He tried to squash out evil and all that stuff. There was really nothing big and about him, but except when he became Old Ben. Old Ben was a liar. He kind of backstabbed Luke a little bit and Yoda. He just lied. He was a great character. I liked Old Ben. Good in the box office. There would have been a Boba movie. Yeah, there would have been more spin-off movies for sure if Solo would have done better. But I blame a lot of things for Solo. A little bit of fatigue on Star Wars part. Not really, because, I mean, you can release a Marvel movie every 3 months and they blow out the box office. Star Wars can do the same thing. The problem was that they fired the directors 80% through shooting, and the writers, Lawrence Kasdan, hated them, so there was that drama. Then there was the Kathleen Kennedy drama with it, and then no marketing, and they spent a lot of money on this movie that a lot of fans didn't expect them to make or wasn't excited for them to make in the first place. Hi, Jessica. I'm interesting. You are interesting, Mike, but I will really be interested after a rumor that Natalie Portman will be hired as cameo. She would have to be in a flashback or something, unless she's playing Sabe. I really like Solo too, DR. Solo's better than A New Hope? Oh, man. You're going to have to stop typing now. Sorry. Let's see. Look on the bright side. A series is much better than a movie, considering the high quality of The Mandalorian. Absolutely. The production quality of The Mandalorian, and the money they've put into it. And I love I forget what they call it, the volume. I love the volume. That thing's just so amazing. It makes everything look realistic and like they're right there. It's very little green screen. They've really dumped a lot of money into the show. So when you do that, you take a story that you could have made a 2.5 hour movie out of, and you stretch it out over 8 hours now, or 7.5, or whatever. And then if you do a second season, then you've stretched that one movie into 16 hours. Yeah, he did have a set of old armor there, DR. Mando was amazing. Yes, he was. And the whole show was. I loved The Mandalorian. When season 1 ended, there were rumors about Tamira Morrison coming back and playing Boba Fett. There were the rumors about Ahsoka coming, all that stuff. And I thought, oh, wow, really? Are we going to muddy this show with legacy characters? I mean, I'd love to see Boba Fett in it, but let's give him his own show and have Mando doing his thing, because that show's standing on its own legs. It's writing its own show and it's doing its own thing, and it's amazing. Then when season 2 came out and I actually saw the characters, I said, okay, this works. This works, because Boba Fett was only in it for a few episodes. Then he went off on his own. Ahsoka was only in it for an episode, and she went off on her own. So it took these legacy characters and it kind of turned them into an MCU thing where you just see peaks of them and they're in and out. And I like that. So hopefully when they do these other series, Ahsoka, the Rangers of the New Republic, and the Book of Boba Fett, hopefully they take their characters from the other shows, say Bo-Katan, Din Djarin, even Bosk and things like that, and mingle them in. And let's start making spin-offs of all this stuff and just intertwining it like crazy. Yeah, I beg to differ, DR. Ahsoka is my favorite light side character. I'm sorry. I need her in everything. You're more of a god. I think they did a Boba Fett doing bounties in the slums and make it rated R. It would go over great. Just don't know if they would for Star Wars. Well, that's kind of what Star Wars 1313 was supposed to be about. I can't remember if it was a show or a video game, but that was the video game, and then Star Wars Underworld was the show. But 1313 was about Boba Fett growing up and into his adult years and teenage years and stuff like that, going after bounties, and it was supposed to be really raw. Edits. Stop. King Kong is a big monkey. But Boba was needed. Yes, Boba was needed. Mostly just to show legacy in the Mandalorian culture. I know a lot of people don't like me saying Boba Fett's a Mandalorian, but come on. Looks like a Mandalorian, acts like a Mandalorian, smells like a Mandalorian, must be a Mandalorian. Yeah, I know. They totally scrapped 1313 when EA took over the contract. Could have been any other Jedi. There could have been any other Jedi. They could have had Cal Kestis in there. They could have even had Mace Windu reprise a role. But at this point, I think Mace Windu's dead. I'm hoping not, because, you've seen my fan fictions and heard them and stuff where Mace Windu and Boba Fett reconcile and go their opposite ways. So, yeah, it could have been any other Jedi, but I'm glad it was Ahsoka. I do wish they would have got her headdress right, though. Well, Kong and Godzilla might team up together, because now they're talking about a Mecha Godzilla. So maybe that'll be the villain. Tastes like a Mandalorian. That's right, Retro Gaming. Cal Kestis probably wouldn't be back since he's most likely gonna die at the hands of Vader. They're making a Jedi Fallen Order 2, so we'll have to see. Nah, he would be in the Book of Boba. No other plot makes sense to me. Who would be in the Book of Boba, DR? King Kong? No. Nor Godzilla? No. And that's another thing. Oh my god. I love the MCU, and I love other nerdy things. I like the Avengers and Spider-Man, and even a little bit of DC. Aquaman was okay. But I can't stand it when people draw things up of Star Wars crossed over with these other things. I don't know why. It just irritates me. It's like, Star Wars is mine. Let me have Star Wars. Quit trying to cross other things over. Or if they say, who would win, Batman or Darth Vader? Well, duh. Darth Vader's going to kill him. It's no question. A mere mortal like the Joker almost killed him. I'm sure Darth Vader just it. So quit bringing these things up, please. I think with all the shows coming out and the whole, we're not sure if he died, then he'll be back. Too big of a character and actor not to. Silas, I believe you're talking about Mace Windu. Absolutely. I'd love to see Mace Windu come back. Samuel L. Jackson's a brilliant actor, and he's great. I could see him as an old, run-down Jedi running into Boba Fett on accident, and them going like, what do we do now? I mean, Mace Windu put Boba Fett in prison and killed his dad. So there's that. Boba Fett's got that grudge, but hopefully he lets go of it. The new armor and everything hopefully proves that. You feel the Star Wars nerd in me. That's right. You can probably smell the Star Wars nerd in me. Spider-Man Go Home. Here we go. Spider-Man Go Home. Spider-Man runs away from home. The little spider climbed up the spout. Sam Jackson, Arafine says, Sam Jackson has rated so many times that he thinks Windu isn't dead and is very up for reprising Windu again. Yeah, George Lucas also confirmed it with him. He asked George Lucas, he said, can't Mace Windu have lived through that? And George Lucas is like, yeah, he could have lived. I mean, take it what you want. George Lucas doesn't own the company anymore. It's like saying that you have a car that you sold somebody 8 years ago and you're telling them what to do with it. You can't. So, but hopefully they do take a little bit of George Lucas' word and let Mace Windu live. Spider-Man meets Boba Fett. Get out of here with that, DR. Boba Fett tear him up. Boba Fett versus Bosk. Now that challenge I will take, Fernando. Thank you. Bosk is a extreme badass. The dude hunts Wookiees for fun. Not even because he has to, just because he wants to. And I mean, you got an 8-foot Wookiee and a 6-foot lizard going after him. It's going to be a good battle. So then you got Boba Fett going against Bosk. The only thing Bosk has a disadvantage of is his armor. I mean, he's wearing a flight suit, for God's sakes, and Boba Fett's wearing Beskar. Stupid to sell it? Not really. I mean, George Lucas isn't going to live forever. I mean, if he didn't sell it once he passed away, there'd be no more Star Wars, period. I'm kind of glad he did sell it. We're getting so much good material now. I mean, we did get a little bit of rough start there, but I think they've got it ironed out and they really know what they're doing. This High Republic stuff coming out is just awesome. I'm almost through the first book. And George did make some mistakes. I mean, come on. Han shot first, not Greedo. Need to see some more different bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back. Silas, thank you. Yes, definitely. Love to see Forlom, Zuckuss, and IG-88. IG-88's pretty much dead. He died on Cloud City. But Forlom, Zuckuss, Bosk, Dengar, bring them. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think George Lucas would have done anything with Boba. Dr. Good point, because George Lucas really angered me with how he treated Boba Fett. For almost a generation, he let these third party people write the expanded universe about Boba Fett being this great Mandalorian. He's amazing. He's awesome. He's the Mandalorian we all want and we all love and we can all look up to. And Mandalorians cheered and the Yuzan Vong died and all that stuff. And then one day George Lucas just says, "Meh, he's not a Mandalorian." What kind of crap is that? Why are you going to just diss him like that after you let a whole generation of writers write about how great of a Mandalorian he was? Boba kills Jar Jar, huh? Thanks, Retro Gaming. I would not be against that at all. But I think Jar Jar's going the way of Elvis. Honestly, he's disappearing and then he's going to pop up here and there as a clown, as they call him in the Aftermath books. Boba belongs to the fans. Yes, Boba is a fan's character. You can say everything you want about Darth Vader. I love Darth Vader, my second favorite character. But Boba Fett is the fan's character, where Darth Vader is a franchise character. Funny when I tell my non-Star Wars friend all about Boba Fett and who he's Mando, my friend is like, okay. Yeah, Dr. A lot of people are like that. One word from George Lucas and they discredit everything that had been written before. I mean, George Lucas didn't even put it into canon. He didn't put it into any of the shows, didn't put it into any of the movies, saying Boba Fett wasn't a Mandalorian. He's not a Mandalorian. And that's all he said. And everybody's like, yay, he's not a Mandalorian. Well, people that hate Boba Fett are like, yay, he's not a Mandalorian. And then when Prime Minister Olmec said that about Jango Fett, said, I don't know where he got that armor or whatever he said. Everybody's like, yay, Jango Fett's not a Mandalorian. Why? Why is everybody so hyped up about stupid stuff like that? I'm sorry. I'm getting angry. I need to quit. George Lucas had so much to do, but he was kind of smart to sell because people were hating so much on him. Thanks, Ghost General. Yeah, he was. I mean, after the prequels, I'm not going to lie. I didn't hate on George Lucas, but I did hate on some of the characters of the prequels. I understood their place in the saga, just like I understand the sequel's place in the saga. But I didn't necessarily agree with all the decisions that were made. I thought the pod race was way too long. I thought Jar Jar was an idiot. Sebulba could have been developed a little bit better. Anakin throughout the whole prequels was just whiny, and I understand why he was whiny, because Luke was whiny. So Luke had to get that trait from somewhere. Why not pass down from Anakin? But then the Clone Wars came out and ironed everything out. But George Lucas took a lot of heat about the Phantom Menace, especially. When people came out of the theaters, they were like, yeah, Phantom Menace, best movie ever. Best Star Wars, we got Star Wars again. Then a couple viewings later, they had time to think about it, and they're like, this movie blows. What happened? But it didn't blow. It was a good movie. Let's see. Jango and Boba are 100% Mandalorians. That's right, Bobby. They are. They're 100% Mandalorians. I don't care what Olmec says. I don't care what George Lucas says. Anymore, I really don't care what George Lucas says about anything because he doesn't even own the company. And it looks like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau get it. You love the Phantom Menace. Of course you do. It's okay. You can love the Phantom Menace. I like it. It introduced Darth Maul. One of the best Sith characters to come out in a long time, or Sith assassin. Phantom Menace definitely had its flaws, but the idea and story behind it was great. It was, but George Lucas said it was wrote for... Sorry, Arafine, I'll give you credit for that comment. George Lucas said it was meant for 12-year-olds. How many 12-year-olds understand trade disputes and Senate rivalries and all that stuff? He should have just admitted he made it for adults, but there were some kids' characters in there that really drug the story down a little bit. I think Phantom Menace is worse than Attack of the Clones. I really don't want to get into which Star Wars movies I dislike or anything, because I don't dislike any of them. But if you had to put them in a hierarchy of good versus bad, Phantom Menace is probably at the bottom of my list. Then Attack of the Clones right above it. I do like those movies, though. They have their merit. They have their place. I loved seeing the clones jump into the Battle of Geonosis and just start dominating. And it did look like a video game, and there was too much CGI, and the acting was a little. I'll take that back. The acting was not bad at all. You had Natalie Portman, Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen, Samuel L. Jackson, Frank Oz, all these people that are amazing actors and voice talents. I've seen Hayden Christensen in other things, and he was amazing. He was just great. But the direction and the dialogue was what killed that movie. The prequels are definitely not perfect, but they have their moments. Arafine, that is true. They do. No Star Wars movie's perfect. I mean, I love them all, but they all have flaws. I hate saying it because it's the franchise I grew up with and the franchise I love so much, and that's why I'm here on YouTube, because I love Star Wars and I want to talk about it. And you see, my son DR is the only, or I'm sorry, my son Edits is the only one in the group chat of my family. So that tells you how sick of hearing about Star Wars my family is. Wish Django was in 2 movies. Yeah, retro gaming, I do too. I'd like to see him do a flashback and de-age Tamir Morrison better than Aquaman de-aged him. That just looked weird. He looked familiar, but I didn't know it was him. Anyways, yeah, I hope they do show something more of Jango Fett. The acting only seemed odd because George Lucas isn't the best at writing lines. You're right, Arafine, and that's mostly what I was getting at. Is George Lucas is not a dialogue writer. He's more of a innovator when it comes to writing movies. He pushes boundaries. He gets new technologies out there. I mean, if it weren't for him, doing an all digital movie might have taken another generation. Doing stop motion the way he did might have taken another generation for somebody else to figure out. George Lucas is amazing with that stuff. But dialogue, he is not. I don't understand why he didn't enlist the help of like Lawrence Kasdan or something like that to help him out with the prequel dialogue. George is the king of wooden writing. Yeah, I didn't mean for this to turn into a George Lucas bash fest. I love the guy. What he's done for Star Wars is amazing because he created it. I mean, he just, out of thin air, boom, there's Star Wars. There's all this stuff. I have an entire room. Let me see if I can move my webcam and show you guys a little bit of what's going on in this room here. It's on a wire, so give me just a second. There's that. There's that stuff. That's the picture I posted the other day that I did with chalks and colored pencils. Got some of my Lego sets and Black Series and Robot R2-D2 and a couple Grogu's up here. And there's my helmet with my curio with all my Funko in it. The Stormtrooper, yeah, it's a space heater. I'm still working on this room. Another Boba Fett helmet. You can barely see the Darth Vader helmet in there with the Black Series stuff. And Goofy hanging on the wall. So, I hope that gives you a little bit of perspective why I love George Lucas. Nice to actually see the face that goes with the nice voice. Placement of reflected blue screen light makes you look anti-Thrawn. I like that. And you're naming another one of my favorite characters. Ever since 1994 when Heir to the Empire, or first time I read Heir to the Empire, Thrawn just amazed me. And thank you, Allison. I really appreciate that. Well, no one is perfect, and we still love Lucas. That's right. We do. Lucas is awesome. I like George, too. He just makes a lot of stupid decisions. Yes, retro gaming. He did. And one of those decisions was not enlisting the help of a true Hollywood writer like Lawrence Kasdan, who understood Star Wars and the fans. He did Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi and did amazing jobs with them. He did Solo and The Force Awakens and did awesome with those as well. Oh, thank you, Allison. I appreciate that. I like George too. He just makes. Okay, I already read that one. Sorry. Punch a Jawa. Yeah, Resolute Cub. Let's punch a Jawa. That's. I mean, it's better than punching a baby. At least they're adults. What's your favorite Star Wars meme? Techno Union. Favorite Star Wars meme. I don't know. I would have to look at my phone. There are so many good ones. Give me just a second here, and I'll see what I got here. That's my guy we created in basketball. I gotta scroll back pretty far to find a good meme. Oh, here we go. Found it. All right, so tell me if you guys can see this. You can't read it, but it's Bernie Sanders in the back seat of the Millennium Falcon. Bernie did the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs. Back in the day, we approved the stories for expanded. Who approved the stories for the expanded universe? Was there a general direction? There was a Lucasfilm story group just fledgling at the time. I think George Lucas and maybe one of his producers or co-writers or something was heading it up at that time. There was no Dave Filoni then. There was no Pablo Hidalgo or anything like that. So he basically just greenlit pretty much anything he could. And he considered it more fan fiction than he did canon. But since no other stories had been written, all of us fans considered it canon because it was Star Wars and it was out there and it was more than what George Lucas was doing. How do I feel about the droid attack on the Wookiees? Retro gaming. There are a lot of good memes about that one. Oh my god, I love it. Actually, I posted one of my videos, the one about Darth Vader stopping Boba Fett from shooting Chewbacca, on a Facebook group, and one of the guys said he stopped him because of the droid attack on the Wookiees. And I loved it. So do people actually think a bunch of teddy bears killing a trained army? Yep, it happened. Thanks a lot, Bernie Sanders. Borkel Art Pro Productions, you're welcome. All right, let's see what other we got. Well, there are hundreds of teddy bears basically swarm the army. It's like 10 kids tried to swarm you right now. You may be stronger than one individual. Yeah, absolutely. If you've got 1 million little teddy bears going after 100 stormtroopers are doomed. I don't care how many of them they shoot; they keep coming. So, to me, the Battle of Endor, to me, it resembled the Eastern Front during World War II. The Germans had the technology, they had the weaponry, and they had the tactics where they could, they did their pincher move where they'd move in, separate it, then wrap around and take over an army. They took over France in like 3 weeks. They took over Poland in like 3 days or something. I don't know. That's not saying anything bad about these countries. It's just the way the Germans operated. They were very meticulous. But when they went against the Russians didn't have technology. They barely had enough weapons. They didn't have enough weapons. They didn't have enough ammo to go around. But what they had was people. They had plenty of people, and they threw them all at the Germans. No matter if they had a gun or not, they threw them at them. And it worked. A lot of Russians died, and that's horrible, but it stopped Germany from advancing. That's just the way I see the Battle of Endor. Maybe it's a bad analogy. I don't know. A lot of people are very sensitive on the German topic right now because of different things, and I'll leave Gina Carano out of it. Love B1 battle droids. I do too, Retro Gaming. Oh my god. Edits. Hang on a minute. I'll get back to you. I love B1 battle droids. Yeah, I like B1 battle droids too. They're funny. They provide some good comic relief while still being a little bit intimidating because they're battle hardened. All right, so Edits asked who would win, Boba or Leroy. Leroy is this character Edits and I created on NBA 2K21 or 20, sorry. And this is Leroy. If you can see him, hopefully it's not too bright. Oh, he's popping up. There he is. He is 5'4" and about 75 years old, but he can out-dunk Shaq any day. I'm your new history teacher. I took a lot of history classes in college, more than I should have. I would have finished college a lot sooner had I not taken 100 history classes, just because I loved it. I loved the European history classes the most. Looks like Bob Ross. Yeah, he kind of does. Papa Mike. I think that stormtroopers were a Star Wars version of SS rather than USMC. They were an elite in the beginning because they had the best people for the job. After that, they were recruiting almost anyone. Yes. Yeah, in the beginning, they had clones that were filling the armor until the clones were getting too old. Then they moved in just conscripts or anybody that wanted to join up. So they started losing and watering down what they were. And then you get them not being able to shoot anything. They did shoot Leia in the shoulder, so let's not forget that. One of them had enough aim to hit Leia in the shoulder. And one shot R2-D2. Noah Logs GS. Nice to see you. I know nothing about history. Well, except Star Wars history. Boba versus Thrawn. I'm going to go with Boba. Thrawn is more of a tactician. He knows where to place armies and navies and how to overwhelm an entire force. Where one-on-one, Thrawn is good hand-to-hand, but he's not great. Boba Fett, hand-to-hand, way better. Vader versus Godzilla. I'm not answering that. I told you I don't like crossovers. Ahsoka versus Mando. Ahsoka. Yep. Sorry. She's my favorite light side character. Ahsoka wins. What was he? Got Leia with a stun blast. They did do that. That was a large ass radius, so I wouldn't call that good aim. Arafine, also when they were on Endor, she got shot in the shoulder when they were trying to jimmy the doors open to the bunker. Boba versus Jango. I mean, that's a hard one. It's like saying Jango versus Jango. They're the same person, really. We think of them as father and son, but they're not. They're really the same guy. Just different experiences. Would you like to see Boba punching Bo in the face after she insulted him? Yeah, I'd like to see him slap the crap out of her and then have her cry, I need to see a manager or a Moff. I need a Moff or a Mandalore here. This is ridiculous. So Bo Karen can go crying to the management. I felt like in Attack of the Clones, Jango would have killed Obi-Wan. Facts. He almost did. I mean, he had Obi-Wan dangling from a string. All he had to do was cut the string. Whose armor looks cooler, Jango's or Boba? Retro gaming, you know what I'm going to say. Boba. Yeah, you need to play PC Battlefront 2. Get the Ahsoka mod. You keep trying to get me to get those mods. I'm afraid of mods, honestly. I'm afraid of viruses and stuff like that. I have a new PC, and I'm just really... I guess I baby it too much, maybe. But I really like my PC, and it's really good. My old one, I didn't baby it as much, and I wound up getting viruses and stuff on it, and then it just crashed. Arafine. Oh, yeah, right. Also, I find it kind of ridiculous in The Mandalorian that the stormtroopers never hit the gaps of the Mandalorian's armor. Yeah, that is crazy. 1 million shots go out, and all of them seem to hit the Beskar. Not the joints. No elbow shots, no thigh shot, or anything. It seems like everybody's aiming for the head or chest. They need to stop that. There is a neck that is open. There are shoulders. There are elbows. See these? These are elbows. Let's see. Papa Mike. Actually, Bo looking at a darksaber with a smirk is a perfect meme. I got a sword. Do you have it? I like that. If they don't go, or I'm sorry, if they didn't go other this side, eventually Obi-Wan still have. DR, check your spelling, dude. I'm having a hard time reading that one. Looks like stormtroopers have aim that is so good that they aim only for the armor. Maybe they're used to target practice. You know, they're always in target practice, shooting at dummies with armor on and stuff, and they're like, yeah, got him in the chest, yeah. And now they're shooting at real people. They're like, yeah, got him in the chest, yeah, got him in the head, ha. But you didn't kill him, and he's killing you with a gaffy stick. Mandalore the Ultimate is your favorite Mandalore. Retro Gaming, yes. Mandalore the Great's mine. He took on the entire Jedi Order. That's ballsy and a big move there. Wow, it's been almost an hour already. That's crazy. Huh. It says live 39 minutes. Thought I started it earlier than that. Oh, because it got lost at one time. Alrighty, everybody. I think, let's see, I'll take one or two more. Let's see. Boba has to be my favorite Mandalore. Aerophene, yes, and I hope Boba Fett is the Mandalore during the Book of Boba Fett, or even after. Maybe the Book of Boba Fett is going to turn out way different than I imagine. I imagine it becoming Boba Fett becoming that Mandalore, but I may be wrong. During the Book of Boba Fett, he may just continue his bounty hunting ways and doing that kind of stuff, and then afterward mingle into the Mandalorian where he becomes the Mandalore. Hope not, but it could happen that way. Retro Gaming asks, who do I prefer, Phase 1 or Phase 2 clone armor? Phase 2. To me, it's more of a nostalgia thing. The Phase 1 looks really good, and I love that it's modeled after the Mandalorian armor, but I grew up with the original trilogy, so the Phase 2 armor looks more like the original Stormtroopers, and you can tell they're really starting to blend in to become those Stormtroopers. Beskar chainmail. Yeah, Aerophene, exactly. It does resemble the Mandalorians more, and it was based off Mandalorian armor. And if we remember, George Lucas says it's based off Mandalorian armor, but at the time, the only canon Mandalorians we had was Jango Fett and Boba Fett. Why would he say neither of those are Mandalorians if he's basing clone armor off Mandalorian armor? I don't know. It's just another way to bash George Lucas, I guess. All right, everybody. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. I'm going to go shoot some hoops with edits. I hear the basketball bouncing outside. So if y'all wouldn't mind, I'm going to go ahead and take this leave and cut out. Thank you all for joining me so much. I really do appreciate it, everybody. This has been a blast, and I can't wait to do another one. I'll do them more often now that I'm starting to figure out how to do these things. I'm still not perfect, but